Okay. So, give me a second. Alright, so who wants to start? We've got, Steven or Jonathan.
I can go first, sure.
Okay. Alright, oh, and I also have, everyone's, blood points down here. So, Jonathan, you are starting at 9 blood points.
Alright.
Ryan, you are starting at 5. And Steven, you are starting at 9. Alright. Find this. Transfer over to, our Jonathan's Haven pictures.
Are you still using my own sketches from way back then?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright.
So, you wake up in your haven. You
Right.
just, I do factor in, the blood point you just took off for waking up into your starting totals.
Okay, so still 9.
Yeah. Alright.
Right.
Yeah, so you wake up in your haven, kind of, stretch, look around, do the regular stuff. And, you find that you are alone in bed.
Is that a common occurrence, or is this the first time?
Usually you wake up, a little bit earlier than everyone else, so they're all still around you. But when you check the clock on the wall, it seems like you slept in later than usual for some reason.
Huh. Like, much so, or?
I mean, not a ton more, but a little bit unusual for a vampire since, because it's based on your humanity, it's usually fairly, steady. But it's like like an hour later.
Huh. Alright then. I'll look around. Is Sire or Alicia anywhere nearby?
Yeah, so you get out of bed, and as you head downstairs into the main room, you find Alicia is there. She's watching the evening news, which is reporting about a snowstorm which is preparing to hit the entire Chicago area.
Hmm.
So Alicia is there, but Lucy is not.
Then I'll ask if she's gone out.
Alright. Yeah, so Alicia kind of turns to you and says, "Oh, I see you're finally up." Yes, Lucy left just a little bit ago. She said she was going to feed.
Ah, I see. Alright then. I suppose if there's nothing urgent or any other pressing matters right now, I'll get back to writing on my book then.
Alright. So, yeah, you head back upstairs, and, why don't you give me an, intelligence plus academics.
As I recall, that's 7.
Okay. Yeah, so you're trying to get to work on this book, and it just feels, I don't know, you feel like you should be making some progress, but again, it's just, it's very frustrating. You just have this, really sense of writer's block. It feels, literary-wise, like you're just wading through hip-deep mud, basically, trying to do this. You feel like you have all the necessary skills, it's just not coming together, really. But, as you're working, you hear, with your auspex, you hear some, light footsteps approaching the door, and then the door opens, and a few moments later you feel, some arms wrap around you while you're sitting at your desk.
Hello there.
It's Ryan. No, I'm kidding.
Hello.
No, it is Alicia. And she says, how's it going? And kind of kisses you gently on, like, the nape of your neck.
Well, I'm making progress, but not quite as fast as I'd like to. Seems to be stuck in a bit of a rut lately.
She says, and, continues to embrace and sort of kiss you. And says, perhaps you need a break.
Suppose that might help.
And so, if you let her, she will lead you over towards the bed.
Let's see, how can I prevent this? While still being nice to her.
This is the greatest danger, the greatest challenge Jonathan has ever faced. The goat was nothing. Now we have to politely say no to a woman.
Why is rejecting someone politely so tough? Let's see here. Would you like to join me for a walk, perhaps?
She kind of cocks her head to the side, sort of quizzically. Then she kind of looks outside, and you can actually see the first kind of drops of snow are beginning to fall. And when she sees this, she looks kind of delighted, and she says, "Oh, how romantic!" And she immediately grabs a hold of your arm. And, leads you downstairs to get, like, your coats and things on. I accidentally asked her on a romantic date. Damn.
Well, I'll grab my coat.
Jonathan accidentally falls ass backwards into a relationship. Alright. So we'll switch over to Steven while you plot how you want to get out of this.
Can I claim to be gay? Nah, that wouldn't work.
It's a little late now.
I'll say she turned me gay. Wait. Nah.
Alright. Mary, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Steven is in the process. You got up pretty early this evening. Fortunately, Terry was able to wake you, and you have your ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So you got up just after sunset to head down to the high school in order to start teaching your computer class.
Okay.
So it went off pretty well. Why don't you give me a intelligence plus computers?
That is 7.
Okay.
With a specialty in analytical.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the class goes off pretty well. A lot of the people you have are, some of them are actual high school students, but a lot of them are just kind of people from the community. They are pretty slow, and it takes you a little while to get back into the swing of teaching again.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of it, you feel like you've gotten the hang of it again. So, as everyone is filing out, there's one particular student who kind of stood out to you as the most capable of them.
Okay. Is younger or older?
Yeah, he's a younger man, and you notice actually he seems to be, at first you thought he might be a little bit of trouble, because you did notice that he is wearing gang colors. But he does seem to be the only one here. I mean, you can basically teach them the basics, but he's the only one here who might have the potential to, actually learn a little bit more than the others.
To go beyond just Word and Excel. Who might be
Yeah.
able to get into Visual Basic. or something.
Yeah, he is the only one who has a real aptitude for it beyond just...
All right, so he's hanging back. Is that what you're telling me?
No, everyone is just kind of slowly filing out. As you're, packing up your stuff for the evening. A lot of people are kind of anxious to get out because there has been news that a snowstorm is going to hit the area. But he's not one of the people who's hurrying out. He's going at a regular pace.
Okay. Well, let's strike up a conversation. I will compliment him on his skills.
All right. So he seems a little surprised that you've come up to speak with him. And he's like, yeah, it's, it makes sense.
Has he had experience? Have you had any experience before? Is this your first class, or?
Yeah, he says, no, not besides, just basic computer lab.
All right. Well, I hope that you keep it up, and I think you'll do well.
All right. Yeah, he seems. What was your perception plus empathy?
It is. No, I have 3.
Okay. Yeah, so he seems a little bit awkward talking to you. Possibly because he's not used to being approached by elderly white men.
Mm-hmm. So is he? What is his ethnicity?
Yeah, he's African American.
Okay.
Are you related to my friend Derek?
Yes. I have a black friend. I want to let you know. Okay. So can I quickly aspect him and see if he is human or?
How many points in aspects do you have?
I have 2 now.
Oh yeah. All right.
Congratulations, you're now the Auspex bitch.
I plan to be. I want to eventually be an Auspex, but I really didn't get to be one.
All right. Yeah, you have a basic understanding of how to look at auras in that you did manage to do it once while you were in your laboratory concentrating really hard. But, yeah, out here in the real world with people around talking to you, it's all just a big swirl of colors. There's no way for you to really distinguish.
Well, I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
So I will take my leave.
Alright. So yeah, Terry's coming by to pick you up. And, let's see. Alright. We can switch back over to Jonathan. So, you and Alicia step through a lot of the new falling snow. And she just kind of, she'll just sort of talk at you,
Right.
about...
If possible, I'd like to talk about possible inspiration for my books.
Okay.
Very boring for her to listen to.
So you're going to try and make as boring of conversation as possible in order to get her to go away.
Not really. I'm not trying to make it boring. I'm just trying to make it clear that it's professional, quote unquote.
All right.
So it probably will be boring for her.
All right. I'm gonna call for a manipulation plus subterfuge on this one then.
That's a 4.
It's getting better.
It used to be 2.
You got practice like this, steering conversations.
Oh man, I've gotten tons of practice like this by now, I think. Just every day. Okay, how can I avoid...
Let's talk about anything besides being intimate with these women. All right. Are we sure that Jonathan isn't gay? Did we?
But enough about you. Let's talk about me.
All right.
My book specifically.
Yeah, so you just kind of try and every time something comes up that might be romantic, you immediately start steering the conversation towards business casual.
Right.
Um, you can feel that it comes off as kind of awkward, but you are doing it. You're not getting stuck talking about anything you don't want to
Okay.
as you go on this date.
Maybe she'll take the fucking hint.
Curse my hotness.
Hmm.
So yeah, as you're
Excuse me one moment while Tiga raise up to my face.
don't draw blood. That only will cause a feeding frenzy.
Fuck. If they're near my guy on the fire, I can't tend to deodorise.
That's a good point. Yeah, so you guys walk through the city as the snow falls, and you steer
There's
the
Olive.
conversation back to business casual every time, and eventually you guys work your way around, and Star Wars finally here. Hey,
Yay! Star Wars!
How y'all doing?
pretty good.
Doing fine.
Good.
I have the unfortune of being on a date with a hot lady right now. It's quite a problem.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He's super gay.
I want to make it clear we're talking about Jonathan, actually.
Okay, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that.
All right. So yeah, eventually you make your way back to your haven, and
It sounded like you were legitimately sad that Jonathan was gay.
Oh, no, about the whole being on a date thing.
I think I'll manage.
So you guys head back to the haven, and she immediately goes to like the gas fireplace in the haven, and turns it on, and she'll suggest that you two sit on in front of the fire.
Right then, I'll get some chairs for us. And I'll get 2 chairs for us.
All right. Okay. So as you are handling that, we will switch over to Derek here. Alright, so the first thing we need to decide, Derek, since you've missed a couple of sessions, these guys have basically, they dealt with what they needed to do in Chicago, and you were successfully presented to the prince. So you now have sort of a choice. You can reside within Chicago if you want, or you can continue to remain in the Professor's Haven.
The professor.
Yeah, Steven.
Oh, well, I mean, is it still dangerous for me to be in Chicago?
You technically have the prince's permission, but it is significantly more populated with vampires, so it is a more dangerous city, probably.
I see.
There is also the matter of, do you have any resources in your backgrounds?
I do not.
Alright, so there is also the matter that you'd have literally no money, so it's going to be hard to pay your rent in that state. And also you've been declared legally dead.
I see. So, I'll stay with Steven, but can I check on my girlfriend, make sure she okay?
Alright. Yeah, if you want to do that. What was that, David?
Well, I'm not like in danger anymore, so.
David, we both know the real reason he wants to go back to the apartment is because he knows that the tickets are waiting for him. It's like, oh, I better check on my girlfriend. Do you want to go up? No, I just want to stay here for a minute. Alright, we can go.
I mean, if I'm there, I might as well.
Yeah? Alright, so,
You could probably gather a few things from his apartment too if he has any.
Yeah.
Items if you want.
Yeah, that too.
Alright, so, if he was planning an outing like this, do you want to... Stephen, will you allow Terry to basically drive him up to Chicago? Basically, the idea is he drove you guys, dropped you off at the school for your class, drove him up to Chicago, and then we'll pick you up on the way back.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. There's a very small number of people who drive in this coterie.
There is. I could have probably driven myself, but it is snowing, so I wouldn't have wanted to.
Yeah, and also you have a class to teach, so...
Right, but I mean, I could.
Yeah, you could have done it afterwards.
But.
Yeah.
I probably would not have felt comfortable because of the snow.
Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, Terry drives you up to Chicago, then Derek, and drops you off outside of your old apartment building. And he's just like, I'll wait in the car.
Alright. Well, first and foremost, I head upstairs, see
Alright.
how the place looking.
Do you want to check your mail first, or...?
Nah, I'll do that on the way out.
Alright. So, yeah, you head up to the apartment, and when you enter inside, you find that your key does still work in the lock. But inside, the place has been ransacked, it looks like. Like, drawers have been pulled out, everything has been scattered everywhere.
I see. Well, do I have any valuables here?
At resources 0, probably not.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I'll see if I see any signs of my girlfriend, or see, if I can see if she went somewhere.
Yeah, why don't you give me a perception plus investigation?
That is 2.
Alright. So yeah, you look around, and you don't see any sign of her in the apartment, and there are just a couple of little things that you notice. Like when you open up the refrigerator, you find that the food seems to have been basically untouched. It's decaying at this point. It's been, basically there was a few weeks of downtime where basically you were just kind of laying low, and it looks like this food is a few weeks old. No one's touched it or anything like that.
So basically, she ain't been here since
It looks, yeah,
killed.
it looks that way.
So she probably ran off with that dude.
Or is dead.
Oh yeah, that too. That's a possibility. Well, nothing for me here now.
Except those tickets.
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend probably dead, so
Yeah.
the only thing I really got to look forward to is them tickets. So.
You are handling this like a champ. Oh, damn, my girlfriend's dead. Oh, well.
Maybe I can be a new one at the concert.
You know, it sure does.
Yeah, so as you head back downstairs, as you're looking through, as you're opening up the mail, it is basically spilling out as you open up the thing. There's so much built up. And as you're kind of leaping through the stuff, you see the landlord notices you, the building super. He comes up and he's like, where's the rent?
I left it upstairs. I'll be back. I'll be back to get it in a few minutes.
He kind of observes you, and it seems like he doesn't really trust you.
Now, why would that be?
And
So
he'll stand there and he'll be like, well, I'll wait.
all right, cool. Just let me check through my mail right quick, and I find the concert tickets, and then I leave.
Alright? So you play it cool long enough to get those damn tickets.
Just book it right afterwards.
And then you just get out of there?
Exactly. Yep.
Alright. So as you just kind of leave, he starts basically shaking his fist and cursing at you, but he doesn't actually... He's kind of a smaller, sort of older guy, so he doesn't, like, try and stop you or anything.
It's Stephen.
But he does say that basically, you know, he's going to evict you.
Oh well, do what you gotta do.
Get out and get into the luxury vehicle with Terry out inside to drive you. Be like, got them tickets.
Nice, you saved $30.
Yeah, we all good now.
Well, the tickets are sold out, you know, no one can get them unless you win them.
Exactly. You know, I might be able to scout these, make a little money on the side.
Get resources one.
Like $40.
Alright. So yeah, you guys start heading back into the city. And Ryan.
Oh boy.
So, you were also, basically, Terry was just dropping everyone off. You also obviously got dropped off for your work.
Yep.
So you're there at, Club Purgatory. And, yeah, you're just hanging out, doing your usual, you know, selling. And, as you're there, give me a perception plus alertness.
Okay, so for some reason my character sheet is a recovered unsaved file. I don't know why. Okay, perception plus
It's Ryan Farrell.
What was it, David?
6.
6. Alright. Alright, yeah, as you're hanging out there, selling your drugs, you notice someone comes in, and, she looks kind of familiar, and then after a little bit, you, recognize her, as one of the ladies that was at the party. She's one of the kindred. You saw her hanging out with, that guy Jonathan a lot. She is, extraordinarily attractive, but she was with Jonathan, so she must also have low standards if you want to, you know, make a move or something.
Now wait, is this the one that he pretended to be at the Succubus Club in order to feed? Remember he obfuscated? He didn't want to obfuscate as Jonathan, so he obfuscated as Jonathan's sire?
Yes, actually, yeah, that's her.
Okay. Nah, I'll leave her.
Okay.
Not
So, yeah.
particularly impressed by you.
Nope.
As you're, hanging out there, selling your drugs, she kind of looks around, and then she seems to spot you, and, actually comes over to you.
Okay. I'll walk her approach. I won't say anything.
So she sits down next to you, and, I assume you are obfuscated at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking like someone else.
Alright. She, sits down, and she says, are you... She kind of looks a little sheepish, and then she says, are you Ryan?
Aye. What of it?
She just kind of shrugs and says, oh, nothing. I just was looking to see if there are any of, you know, our type around.
Any problem?
Says, you know, Jonathan mentioned your business here.
I wouldn't listen to a thing he says.
And
Bit of a clever fella.
yeah, she kind of titters in laughter when you say that, and
Why does Ryan dislike me?
Well, remember the first time I saw you in this game?
Yeah. So
Yeah, what were you doing?
Ryan is
I was
super.
feeding.
Ryan is super homophobic. Remember?
Oh, right, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's why he lives with a gay man.
A British, a proper, unionist
A
gay
fellow
man.
Briton.
It's complicated, okay? Don't worry so much about it.
I do find it funny that he is so judgmental of Jonathan and he lives with Steve.
I really don't get the issue here.
Well, it's not like he's homophobic or anything. So, how about
He just hates gay people.
enlightenment for you guys? Square in Ireland actually just means strange.
Mm-hmm.
So, he is a queer fella. I don't think any of you will deny that.
That's true.
Alright, so, now we'll establish that.
So what is your permanent willpower, Ryan?
It's 7.
Okay.
Is it too late to say I'm obviously not looking in your eyes?
This doesn't require eyes.
Oh, it's present, okay.
He's entrancing you.
Oh boy.
As you are just kind of talking with her, you start to feel, I don't know, just kind of giddy. I mean, it's a little while since you were human, obviously, but, when you were back as a living young man in the United Kingdom, when you would see an attractive young unionist girl who was talking to you, you'd feel kind of giddy, sort of warm inside. That's sort of the feeling that you're getting now.
Strange.
So she just kind of continues to talk to you. She's like, yeah, Jonathan's a little odd sometimes. But, why don't you tell me about yourself, she says. You're obviously not from around here.
Am I compromised to the extent that I'm not smart enough to, or like, can I still choose to just not talk about myself?
You are... Let me see just how compromised you are.
Oh, and also, like, is it overcoming my arrangements?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely overcoming your derangement. Normally, you feel, like, really uncomfortable around people that you've only met, like, once or twice, but there's none of that with her. Yeah, you feel as comfortable with her as you do with Steven or Terry. You actually probably feel more comfortable with her than you do with Derek, usually.
Damn.
Yeah, you retain your creativity and individuality, but you are beginning to fall in love with her. Yeah, well, Toreadors.
Okay, well, I guess I would actually answer then. So, what was it exactly she asked?
She asks, where you come from.
Belfast?
She says, oh, that's in England, right?
Northern Ireland.
Oh. She kind of nods. She says, sorry, I get, all the British Isles kind of mixed up sometimes.
It's okay. I suppose, out of character, I suppose the enchantment is working in the correct way.
Yeah. She's like, I mean, it is all one country, at least.
Aye.
Roll for fancy.
No, he's a unionist. I mean, it is...
Ryan is the other way around this time, so he's pro-British.
Wow.
Aye, there are a few rebellious provinces, but we'll soon sort it out.
Be nice to Ryan.
She says, I come from here, not this city, but this country. She says, was it very hard for you to move here?
You could say that. I had a bit of a rough landing.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," and kind of comfortingly, touches your arm, and you feel kind of you feel charged.
Doing it properly, you practically doing your normal accent.
You feel charged.
Definitely, yes. It's pronounced charged.
um. So, yeah. After a little while, she just kind of makes small talk with you for a little while, asking, where you come from, about your sire and your embrace. How honest are you, I guess?
I will be as dishonest as I am allowed to be because Ryan is so kind.
Yeah. Just kind of,
So it's kind of up to you.
yeah, you don't necessarily, you can't, like, lie outright to her necessarily, but if you want to just kind of make the truth seem more polite, because since it was obviously not really something you would talk about on a date with someone you like, if you want to try and hide it with that sort of mindset, it makes sense. Hell, let me tell you about the time I was tortured, miss. Yeah, so after a little while, she says, "Well, I'm hungry. I was going to go try and find a vessel. I wonder if, you would like to join me."
Am I her peers?
Why don't you give me a self-control?
4.
Nope.
I would love to. Oh, sorry, what was my starting blood? I forgot to take that.
Your starting blood is 5.
Alright, that happens to me. That's what I did.
Alright, oh, and Derek, your starting blood is 8.
Alright.
So she looks around and she says, "Is there anyone you would like?" And there are all sorts of different types of people here. What sort of prey would you prefer?
Well, I guess I'd go for an attractive woman like that.
Okay. So if you look around, find one, kind of point it out to her, and she says, "All right, just wait here." And she stands up and goes over, and she speaks with the woman for all of maybe 5 seconds before the woman's nodding vigorously, and they're standing up, and Lucy motions for you to follow her out as she goes out the front door.
Alright, I follow.
All right. So yeah, this from what you can tell, this mortal seems to have fallen prey to the Toreador's notorious powers of presence, because she is just completely in love with Lucy.
Classic mistake.
Yeah, she obviously she doesn't have the willpower of a vampire. Anyway, so you follow after Lucy like a puppy dog, all the while deriding the woman who's just blindly following Lucy wherever she goes. And Lucy leads both of you into an abandoned warehouse off a little, like a block or two away, in sort of the wasteland area of the city. And there she basically she looks into the vessel's eyes and mutters something in her ear, and then she seems to just kind of fall asleep. And Lucy takes the vessel's arm and begins to drain some of her blood.
Alright, can I start driving with it?
Yep.
I will.
Alright. So, how many blood points do you want to take?
Can I tell how much she's taking?
Not really. actually, you can't, if you want to just, like, have something, like, how much you want to start with, you could take more later if you kind of step back and kind of see how it's going.
Well, the way I see it, as no matter how little I take, if she finishes her off, I'm part of that.
Yeah.
So like, I won't partake unless she stops and says go on.
Okay.
That I would, yes, I would try to. I would have to ask her. You're not gonna kill her, right?
Alright. So why don't you give me a perception plus, empathy roll.
Well, I have 4 perception.
Okay, so 4.
Let me check a moment. Fucking word would wake up.
You need to take my computer class.
Okay, yeah, I have 4.
Alright, as I believed. Yeah, so actually, you're watching her, and she seems, as she starts to feed, it looks like, she's kind of losing control of herself, and obviously you're very familiar with that, you know the signs. So she starts feeding, and she doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon.
In that case, I'll try to knock her out and say, hey, stop.
Okay. Yeah, so as, you're kind of, gently nudging her, she kind of, it looks like the beast is kind of taking a hold in her, and she sort of looks at you, kind of snaps at you for a minute, and then goes back to feeding.
Am I capable of trying to force some stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to force some stuff. I'll try to hold that.
Okay, what's your strength plus brawl?
Well, I'll have to close the word to try to restart it, so 1 second.
Alright. This is gonna be everyone's favorite part of the video.
This is gonna be the bit where you put airplane. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Give me something to restart word.
I'm gonna try and guess what it's gonna be. I bet it will be 7 plus your potence, which will be 1. Guys, word is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so strength plus brawl, right?
Yes.
It's 6.
Ah, I was 1 off.
I could spend a blood point to make it 7, so what do you like?
Nah, it's alright.
Okay, so 6 plus potence.
Which is 1?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to easily pull her off. She does seem stronger than Jonathan is, but still not that strong.
He has no clue how strong I am.
You can sense it.
Yeah, you can have a feel.
So yeah, you pull her off, and she kind of struggles with you for a little bit, and then kind of comes to her senses, and then immediately kind of turns around and basically buries her head in your chest and starts crying.
Okay, sure. Oh, woe is me. Is this having a huge effect on me? I imagine it is.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Everyone's so upset that these hot women are interested in them.
It's just not an advantage game-wise. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess I would try to take her in.
Alright. Yeah, so you,
Like, one of the...
Alright. So you just kind of awkwardly, sort of robotically, kind of hold her, feel like that it's okay. And after a little bit, she does kind of calm down. And she kind of looks up at you and says, thank you for stopping me. And then she looks back at the vessel and then says, is she alright?
Is she?
Lucy kind of ducks around behind you and kind of pushes you forward. She's like, I don't know what I might do.
No, I'm asking
Yeah.
exactly. See?
Yeah, so give me a perception plus medicine.
5.
Alright, so, yeah, you check over the body, and, it seems like, she's probably gonna need medical attention.
Alright. Well, I suppose we'll ring an ambulance.
Alright. So, which cell phone do you use to do that?
We have a burner one, right?
Yep.
I'll use that.
Alright. So, you start calling the ambulance, and as you do so, Lucy's like, is there something wrong?
Well, I mean, she's gonna have to go to hospital.
And, Lucy seems very upset by this. And,
And?
give me a second.
Alright.
Having issues with the audio, according to, chat. David, try, saying something now.
Something now.
Is that, any better? Gonna wait for the stream to catch up now. This is the other part that I'm gonna cut out.
Yeah. Along with all your debts, right?
Yeah. David, you know I don't cut out my deaths.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, David, you, I think it might just be that David's very quiet. Because someone else talk. Miles, you say something.
1, 2, 3, saying something.
Yeah, I don't know if we catch up if anyone else is hearable except for David.
That's probably true.
Because I do have you turned up all the way up to like 200% on Discord, and you are still kind of quiet.
How about I try turn up my volume here as well?
Yeah. I knew we were gonna have a problem after we recorded yesterday.
Okay. Did that make me any louder?
Not really.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Hmm.
I guess I could just try to fucking lean in closer.
Yeah, I would say just try that for now.
Am I any louder like this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright, whatever, I'll try.
Alright. Yeah, because I've got all my settings maxed out right now. So this is about as clear as it gets. Alright, where the hell was I? Oh yeah. Okay, so, yeah, Lucy seems very upset, and she goes over, to the vessel again. And, what is your perception plus alertness?
6.
Alright.
If it's far away, I've got a specialty.
Alright. Yeah, so as you're calling for the ambulance, you do kind of notice that she seems to be looking through the girl's, like, purse, just kind of looking at some of her things, and she seems visibly upset. And after a little while, after she's looked through her stuff for a little bit, and you've called the ambulance, she comes up to you and says, I need to go. Can you handle this?
She's bailing on me?
Yep.
I mean, the ambulance is coming. Do I need to stay?
No. In fact, it would probably be a better idea if you didn't.
Yeah, I'm not staying here.
Okay. So yeah, you, you guys both go your separate ways. Before you do, she says, thank you for stopping me, and she leans forward and, gives you a kiss.
My God, it.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
And,
my senses when this wears off.
let me check. Oh my god. So the number of successes determines how long it lasts, and she fucked you up. It will last for 1 month.
Can she do it again to renew it before it runs
Absolutely she can.
out? If she gets less than a month when she does it the second time, does it go down?
I don't know. I think there are specific rules for it somewhere they'll have to look up.
Alright.
Alright, so you take off as well. And when you get back outside, the snow is coming down pretty heavy, and you get a message, a text message from Terry that he's going to pick you up kind of early because the snow is coming down hard, and he doesn't want you to get stuck out there with the drugs, basically. Alright. So, Terry comes around, Steven, you get picked up, Ryan, you get picked up, and everyone is brought back to the Haven.
Alright, very good.
So yeah. On the drive back, Terry asks, so, Ryan, how'd it go?
How did it go? Did I get any sales done before she showed up?
Yeah, you got some sales made.
Alright, yeah, I'll tell him that.
Alright. Yeah, you didn't get as much as, normally you would have liked, but you're kind of, I don't know, after that kiss, you still feel charged. So, you're not really as upset as you might normally be.
Alright.
So, yeah. By the way, Steven and Derek, you guys don't need Auspex 2 to notice that this guy seems, I don't know. He seems very upbeat. You're not used to Ryan being this happy.
Ryan is happy. Interesting.
Hmm.
So can I inquire if something special happened this evening?
Can I hide it?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, you seem to be in quite a good mood.
Well,
And it's certainly not from the sales.
Steven's looking at your receipts.
listen, Stephen, you know the ways of my clan.
Yes, but I've been with you for years now.
Ah, you think that's enough to know me? You don't know my story.
Do I believe him?
He's being very coy and playful. You're not sure I don't know. It's not,
just weird.
it's not something you would expect from your drug-dealing thug.
Alright. I'm going to assume that something happened
Mm-hmm.
that Ryan does not wish to share.
Oh, you're so paranoid.
Says the paranoid one.
So yeah, you guys, head back and you, arrive back at your haven.
So can I tell if he has been, can I use my occult to see if he's been tampered with?
I wouldn't say a cult, really, because you didn't see the power being used. If you do want to make a perception plus empathy aided by your auspex, basically.
Alright, I'll give that another practice try. So that's 3.
Yeah, let me look up, auras for a second.
It's blue.
Yeah, actually, I think it might be.
Yeah.
Auspex auras. Yes, it is absolutely blue. Which indicates that he is love-struck.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Well, I guess it has to happen to every young man.
Every young 50 or some odd year old man.
But he's only like 50. He only looks like he's 15.
Yeah, it looks like he's 15.
I look like I'm 15, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
If you want to test whether or not you got the power right, why not look at someone else as well? Not like we need to in this case, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Alright. So, what do you guys do once you, get back to the Haven?
I would probably go down to my lab and either read or perform experiments.
Okay. Derek?
Does Derek know the layout of the mansion?
No, I don't think I sent him the file.
Because I'm gonna assume the boys go up and play video games or something.
Yeah, there is a games room.
Suppose I'll go to the, you know what, I'll go check around the mansion to see how the animal's doing.
Okay. Give me a, perception plus animal ken.
My own personal zookeeper.
That is 6 on a specialty.
Okay. Yeah, so you check around, it's winter, so there aren't, like, a ton of, like, native wildlife around. Um, but you check, all the various little things that you've put up in your time here, like, make sure there's water in the bird bath, put out some seed, all that.
Mm. Excellent.
None of them seem to be around right now, but, once, the snowstorm's over, once it hits spring, you should have some.
Do we need to get a pet, Stalwart?
I mean, we don't gotta, but that'd be nice.
Would that be nice? We can get you a pet.
Awesome.
You can ghoulize an animal to turn it into a retainer.
I ain't know that. I might have to do that.
Alright. Alright. And Ryan, what are you doing?
Oh. What does Ryan do?
I'm kind of picturing you going back to your room and creating, like, hearts out of construction paper to give to, to give to Lucy next time you see her.
Nah. Ryan's not the romantic type.
Yeah, you gotta play hard to get.
Yeah.
Do you want my advice again?
Did I ever get a replacement star?
Yes.
Could I is it made of wood or metal or what?
It would be made of wood.
Alright. Could I make the end pointy so it works as a stake?
Yeah, that'll be a dexterity plus crafts roll.
4.
Okay. Yeah, you start going to work on it, but it's actually, really hard. You don't ruin the quarterstaff, but, you don't really make any progress either.
Okay.
It seems like the kind of thing that usually you just tell, Steven or Terry to do for you.
Well, I gotta try to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah? So that's it? You guys are just, hanging out?
Pretty much.
Alright.
I told you things I wanted to research while I will be working on those.
Alright. So, we will, cut back over to Jonathan, then.
Alright.
So you have, just gotten back to your own haven at this point. And you're sitting there in the fire, in the 2 chairs. And after a little while, you notice that it's been, a little while since your sire's been around. You notice it more than usual because you really want another person there to kind of, like, divert Alicia's attention.
Right then, in that case I'll ask her if she said where she was going.
Alicia just kind of shrugs and says, I don't know, probably, Club Purgatory, that's where she usually goes. And then she checks her watch and says she has been gone a while, hasn't she?
She has. I'm starting to get a little worried.
She kind of nods and says, yeah, maybe... And then she, kind of looks out the window, and she seems to kind of visibly shiver for a moment, and then says, maybe you should, go look for her.
Right then, can I check what she was looking at?
You look outside, but you don't see anything out there, really. It might have just been kind of like it seemed to you like sort of an involuntary motion. Like she was concerned about something.
I think that might be a good idea.
You're no psychology expert, but it might have something to do with, like, the hunters that have been following you for, the past few weeks.
Yeah, that's why I figured I should be worried.
Yeah.
I assume we both have phone numbers, right?
Yes.
Alright then. Uh, I'll tell her I'll call to the house again in an hour or so, and if I'm not calling, then something went wrong.
All right.
In that case, I'll head out and look for my sire.
All right. So this is something that like only the audience would see. She's like, yeah, okay, and then as soon as you leave, she's like, so something's gone wrong. What do I do if something's gone wrong? And then she just kind of shrugs and goes back to watching TV. So yeah, you head out. Where do you want to go?
Well, the Succubus Club. Also, I'm just telling you, I will call in an hour. Just don't make me remember that in character, please.
Okay. The Succubus Club or Club Purgatory?
Which one did you say? Club Purgatory?
Purgatory.
Yeah, I'll go to that one.
Okay.
I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah. So you arrive at the club, and it's still
Alright,
doing
then.
good business. Although the snowstorm is kind of, dampened interest a little bit. It's coming down very heavily now.
Do I see my sire anywhere?
Give me a perception plus alertness.
As I recall, that's 4, I want to say.
You do not.
In that case, I'll go to the, is there a bar here?
Yeah.
In case, I'll go up and ask the bartender if he's seen her. I'll describe her to him.
Okay. So as you, he seems a little bit busy and, kind of haggard. He doesn't seem like he has a lot of time for you.
I'll take out like a $5 bill or something to pay him.
Okay. Well, he says, well, in that case. And he, kind of orders some of the other, like, the junior bartender there to take over for him. And he'll lean over near you. And he'll say, yeah, you got pretty eye... Well, whatever. What do you want to know?
Can I ask him if this woman, I'll describe my sire to him, has been
Okay.
here?
He kind of nods, and then says, yeah, she came in here. She was talking to a guy right over there. And she'll describe the guy, but it's obviously it's not someone who exists. It's whoever Ryan was obfuscated as. And he'll say, I think she might have been, trying to get something, if you know what I mean.
Right then, am I assuming this guy is kindred, or is he...
He looks human to you. He's given no indications of being kindred.
Okay. Just the way he was phrasing it sounded like he was implying that she wanted to drink from him.
Yeah. If you look a little bit confused, he'll kind of clarify and say, he was, dealing. Looks like she was looking for party favors.
Right, I get you. Do you know where they went?
They left with some other lady a little while ago. That's the last time I saw her.
Right then. Thanks for your time. Have a good night.
Alright.
In that case, I'll sort of... I assume he pointed out which exit they took, then I'll see if I can find anything from there. If I
Yeah.
spied them on the street or whatever.
Yeah, you head out. It's the same, basically. You check around again. You still don't see anyone out here. If there were any footprints or anything like that, the snow would have long since covered them. It's snowing really hard. There doesn't seem to be any trace.
Do I know Ryan deals in these parts?
Yes, you do know.
Right then, is he the only one I know who deals in these parts, or are there multiple?
Yeah, there could be other drug dealers here. I presume that Jonathan does not regularly purchase,
He doesn't.
drugs. Alright, yeah. Then the only reason you know is just because you encountered Ryan before.
Right, well, seems to be my own lead, so I guess I'll give, do I know Steven and Ryan live together? And more importantly, do I have Steven's number?
You probably... Well, you know that they're friends. You don't know if they live together, but he definitely is a point of contact that would know where Ryan is, probably.
Okay. I have his number?
Yeah.
In that case, I'll give Steven a call.
Alright, Steven, you get a phone call.
Dr. Higgins.
Hey, this is Jonathan Rice speaking.
Hello?
Hey, do you happen to know where Ryan is and if he was dealing tonight?
Ryan usually deals every night, and he's home with me now.
Ah. You see, I believe he may have met up with my sire. It's been quite a while since she was supposed to return home.
Well,
Can you put Ryan on the phone, perhaps?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I will go upstairs and give Ryan the phone and tell him he has a phone call.
Hello, hello?
Hey, Ryan, this is Jonathan.
Oh god, what?
Pleased to see you too. Now, did you meet up with my sire by any chance this evening? And I'll describe what my sire looks like.
Ah, yes. How could I forget? Of course.
He sounds almost wistful on the phone. It's weird.
Ah, okay then. Do you know where she went?
No. If I recall, Zach, she said she had to go and then just went off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hello? Yeah, so I'll tell him that.
Huh. What were you two doing together? Were you selling to her, or...?
No, we just bumped into each other and decided to be together, you know, no big deal.
You know, I may be able to arrange a meeting between you two.
Would you like me to help you look for her?
Yeah, that could be useful.
Alright, gladly.
Maybe.
What would you like me to do?
Meet up with me down at Club Purgatory, and show me where the two of you went. I'd like to investigate the area.
Okay, I head down as soon as possible. I'll be like, hey Steven, gotta go by.
Alright. So, how are you planning on getting over to Club Purgatory?
Oh, is it a long distance away? Should I have to ask Terry for a car?
Yeah, you're probably gonna need to drive there.
I will ask Terry for a lift.
Alright. Well, Terry's going to confirm with Steven first.
And I will say keep an eye on him.
Alright. Terry's like, what is this? Why are we going back there exactly?
I gotta help Jonathan look for his sire. She's gone missing.
Jonathan? Oh, the queer one, right.
Yeah, the queer fella.
Yeah. He'll be like, huh. And then he'll be like, alright, I'll be down in a second, you know, get your stuff and get in the car. And then, once he's out of the way, Terry's gonna come up to you, Steven, and basically inform you that they're looking for a missing vampire. And that he's not sure if maybe you should come along.
This is Jonathan's sire.
Yeah.
The feeling that was possibly why Ryan is acting so odd.
Terry feels a little uncomfortable. He's like, this is kind of like above my pay grade.
Very well. Well, I would say the more the merrier, so I will call out to Derek if he would like to go for a ride.
Of course.
Alrighty.
Alright. So, Jonathan?
While I'm waiting for them to arrive, I'd like to call up Alicia and inform her of what's happened.
Yeah.
Like, all that I've found out so far.
Yeah, so she's like, well, keep looking for her. She hasn't turned up here. I'm worried that something might have happened.
Likewise. Right. I'll contact you soon again once I find out more.
Alright. So the snowfall continues to intensify, and now it's pretty deep. It's like where you're approaching like a foot deep at this point. And it
We
is...
got cane and things on the car.
Yeah. Terry
30
got it.
centimeters is like, that's 30 centimeters or so, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, especially because there was nothing when the evening began, so you can kind of imagine how heavy the snowfall is. It's those big, fat flakes. And,
Supersized.
yeah. And so after a little while, the car pulls up, and you see the whole gang get out, not just Ryan.
Oh my.
I brought reinforcements.
What was that, sorry? You cut out?
I said I brought reinforcements.
I can tell. It's nice to meet you all again. How have you been?
Been good. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, Derek actually talks this time.
And all this time I had presumed you moot.
Yeah, but he's never spoken. He's actually speaking now.
Well, they were at the party together.
Alright, fair enough.
But then he just suddenly went silent.
Yeah.
Well, since you're all here, I may as well explain the situation to you. And I'll tell them that my sire's been gone for many more hours than she normally is, and that we're just gonna look for her.
Alright. So well, if no one is going to hold anything back, then I'll assume you guys just kind of share your stories and everyone knows what they know out of character, basically.
The only one who has any knowledge about this other than me would probably be David and
Yeah.
what this you did.
I don't know if David
So
wants to hide anything.
Well, no.
Alright.
Yeah, no, sure. I'll share it all.
Alright. So yeah, everyone knows what they know out of character.
I mean, I suppose I wouldn't be capable of telling them, oh, I got entranced, so they can figure
Yeah.
it out for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Alright, good.
I obviously don't tell you you've been entranced, but I'll let you
Why
figure that out on your own.
Why?
I figure it would be insulting to tell you, by the way, the feelings you're feeling right now aren't real.
You should totally tell me that.
You probably wouldn't take too well to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would not tell that to the guy with, like, potence and the quarterstaff.
Yeah, who is Malkavian. I think I'll keep that to myself for now. Don't
Alright.
worry, you'll figure it out in like a week or so, I'm sure.
Or a
Or a
month.
month in your case.
Hey, you're lucky, David. If it had been one more success, it would have lasted a year.
Okay.
Well, let's head to where the two of you were feeding and see if we can figure out anything from there.
Alright. So you guys head over to the abandoned warehouse, and it's pretty much like it was before. The yeah, the main difference is that the body has been moved, presumably by the paramedics.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, so I presume I remember what direction she went in, at least.
Yeah. You saw her kind of leave the building. And then she kind of huddled off into sort of another building nearby. That's the last time you saw her.
Okay, and no one here has Aspect 3, do they?
Nope.
So let's head over there, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Off we go, unless there's anything that sticks out right here.
No?
In that case, off we go.
Alright. So yeah, you head into another one. It's a very similar looking sort of abandoned warehouse in the wastelands of Gary.
Mhm.
If you want to give me a perception plus investigation.
7.
Mine's free with auspex.
I also have the true love merit, so the difficulty's down.
I don't think that's how it works.
You don't have the true love merit. You have the enforced love merit.
Fake love. I have the fake love flaw.
Alright. Yeah, you look around, you don't see any trace of her, really. You do see a little bit of, it looks like snow that was brought in by her boots. So it looks like she did come in here. But looking out, you can see, the only thing you notice is that this does give a pretty good vantage point of the main entrance of the other building where the paramedics would have come to take the body out. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be any exit. You don't see any reason why she would come in here. Other than as a possible hiding spot.
Those traces of snow. Are there any like spots of water on the floor from dried up snow?
Yeah, there's some things like that as well.
Can I follow those footsteps?
They actually stay in here for a little bit, and then they go back outside and mingle in with the rest of the heavy snowfall.
Is there any telling what she was doing in here?
It looks like she was just milling around for a little while.
Must have come here to talk to someone. Or to go on the phone or something.
Do I know of any of my sires other contacts in the city?
Besides Alicia, no.
Damn it. Well, looking out, do I see anywhere else she may have gone?
She could go anywhere in the city from here, pretty much.
Is there any, is the snow still out on the floor outside?
Once you go outside, it becomes indistinguishable from all the other snow that's falling.
So no footsteps.
No. The snow is falling too heavily for that. You can only notice it inside, where it wouldn't have been tracked in normally.
Is there any, Well, the only other lead we've got is her child. I mean, is there anywhere else she frequents, or is there anything going on with her recently that you can think of?
I don't suppose there is anything really that sticks out to me, is there?
No, you don't know too much, about her, really.
No, I can't think of anything.
If you want to give me an intelligence plus empathy.
7, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so hearing what happened makes you a little bit more worried, actually, because from what you know of your sire, if she did almost kill someone or hospitalize them, you know that, much like yourself, she also is a great believer in the path of humanity. So this would obviously be kind of very traumatic for her, if that's the case. So if she's vanished, you're worried, what she might be doing. It's possible she may not be thinking clearly.
Huh. I just remember the roll was 6, not 7. My bad.
It's alright.
But do I think she was religious? Could she have gone to a church to confess, maybe?
She's not really, a church sort of person.
Does she have any other temporary behaviors in this town that she could have gone to go into hiding for a while?
Not that you know of, no.
Well, if we're just going to be randomly searching for her, it may be better to split up the party.
I'm always in favor of that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I suggested it. But no, my idea was that we went to like heavily populated areas in like
Mm-hmm.
groups of 2 or 3 maybe, like the Succubus Club and Club Purgatory,
Yeah.
and then we all exchanged phone numbers obviously, and then if and she showed up anywhere, we would contact the others. Because
Yep.
I'm out of ideas for where specifically to search.
You could do that. Does anyone else have other ideas as well?
Nope.
Mary Stallworth?
No, I don't have anything.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Alright. So,
Right then.
alright.
So who wants to go where?
Do you want to encompass your investigation in Chicago as well, or are you going to just stay in Gary?
Do I have any reason to believe she would have gone to Chicago?
Probably not.
In that case, I'm sticking to Gary.
Okay.
I don't think there's anyone I could even call in Chicago that could help me out with searching.
Not really.
Maybe Damien, but
I mean, well, you
Yeah.
could call in your life boon to Loden.
yeah, but no, I'm not wasting that.
I'm worried, but I'm
I
not
don't
that
ca-
worried.
I don't care that much about her.
Oh, actually, I guess if Ryan thinks of that, he would probably be stupid enough to use it now, would he?
Good thing you
You
didn't
might
think of
be.
that.
Yeah.
Good thing you didn't think of that then.
I don't know.
If you think of that, I will assure you there's no way she could have gone to Chicago. There's no way whatsoever. I promise you.
Alright, say so.
Good. Don't waste your life like that.
Well, you know, if it's role playing, it's role playing.
I know, that's why I'm saying in character, I'm telling you don't.
Yeah.
That's
well,
not gonna happen.
David's angling for that role-playing point award.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, so, as you're kind of dividing up your forces, Terry asks Ryan exactly who was the woman that you guys hospitalized.
Just some woman. Don't know anything about her.
Did, he asks,
What does she
did...
look like?
Yeah.
Describe her.
Alright. She asked, did Lucy seem to know her?
Nope. She was just like, yeah, sure, let's get her.
Interesting. Nods and then says, someone may
Are you
want
suggesting
to...
that we should... Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah, if you're... He kind of looks over you as like, are you thinking kind of the same thing?
That may be a good idea.
Alright.
What? What's the idea?
We're gonna go check out the body.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, not the bodies, it's not dead yet, so... I say
Humanity
that, yes,
8!
it's
It's not a body. It's not dead yet, he says about a person.
Humanity 8, but only empathy 2.
Alright. Are you all gonna go together to check out the body?
Yeah.
Alright. So you guys hop into your cars. And,
Right.
are you all... Jonathan, are you gonna jam into the car with the rest of them, or are you gonna take your own vehicle?
I'll take my own.
Okay.
And again, I'm keeping track to make sure I don't get followed.
Right. Well, I mean, you are getting followed by them, but...
Right, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll also inform them that I to keep an eye out for that, perhaps.
Okay.
In that case, off we go.
Alright. So, let's see here. That will be a couple of rolls I need to make.
Okay.
Alright. So, Terry handles the snow just fine. Jonathan, what is your dexterity plus drive?
4.
Alright.
I'm taking it nice and slow.
Alright. Yeah, so you're taking it nice and easy, and as you're going, you do start to slip a little bit on the snow, but you regain control of the vehicle, and you started to fishtail a little bit, but you back in control. Whew, you take a breath, and then you feel a slam as you are jerked forward in your car. And you check the rearview mirror, and you can see that someone has run into the back of you.
All right. Do I believe it was my fault?
No, it's definitely not your fault.
All right. I'll keep in mind that I almost had an accident myself, so it's not entirely his fault. Still quite pissed.
So yeah, he kind of goes off to the side of the road, and he seems, very contrite as he comes up to you. And the rest of you in the car with Terry kind of come up behind, and you can see this kind of transpiring. So the other driver's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, I skid on the ice. Are you okay?"
Am I?
Well, you're a vampire, and it was just a little bump, so you don't seem to be injured.
You don't have to worry, I'm fine. And I'll exude a calming aura.
All right. Let me look up quickly what that roll is.
Charisma performance, I want to say?
I think so.
That should be 7.
Okay. It is okay. We are all fine.
Don't worry, it's fine.
All right. So, Terry asks...
I'll ask him, do you have insurance?
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, do I have insurance?
You do, probably. Well, actually, this is Alicia's car, but yes, she does have insurance. And Terry asks you, Stephen, if you want to stop here by the wreck that Jonathan's had.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Terry kind of pulls up alongside, and everyone in the car, you feel very calm as well. It's very relaxing being here. So yeah, he's like, yeah, let me get my insurance information, and he goes into his car and starts getting his information
All right.
to exchange with you. And as this is happening, you notice another vehicle pulls around and then also comes to a stop nearby. It looks like it's a police car.
All right.
And the cop gets out, and he comes over and says, you have a little accident in the snow?
Yeah, the guy lost control of his car and slid on the ice. It's no big deal. We're both fine.
Alright. Kind of nods and then says, alright, just making sure everything's okay.
Yeah,
Do you,
I appreciate that, officer.
No one needs a ride?
I suppose my car's still fine, right? I
Yeah,
can
he
still
bumped
drive
into
it
the
just
back
fine.
of you.
I appreciate the offer, officer, but I'm good.
Alright. So he goes back to his car and he drives away, looking very calm.
Nice. I'm glad I was able to make his day better.
So fucking quaint, isn't it?
So you exchange the information, and the other guy leaves, and you guys are free to continue on your way to the hospital.
Right? I suppose that there's no, incriminating evidence in my insurance information, is there? But there's no reason I wouldn't want to exchange this, because if there is, why would I have it in the first place?
Well, I mean, it's Alicia's insurance information, so you're not... Yeah, because it's her car. She is hopefully insured for other drivers.
Why would she have it if she wasn't okay with giving it out?
Yeah,
like
it
that?
doesn't make sense, does it?
No, so I'll give it out.
Alright. I'll just mark that down.
All
Okay.
right, then. If she gets mad at me for this, I'll ask her why she has it in the first place.
Alright. So you guys make it to the hospital.
Okay. Oh, I'd like to make a mental note of the guy who bumped into me.
Alright.
I'll just make an actual note. Because I have a notebook.
Just describe him.
Yeah, describe him. Describe what his car was. His
license plate.
License plate. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just to be on the safe side.
I'll have my Tremere curse you. All right.
No, I just want to make sure.
All right. So you head to the hospital.
Okay.
And
let's find this girl.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty busy. When you arrive.
I wonder why. Could it possibly have to do with the snowy roads?
Yeah. So, as you come in, yeah, there are a bunch of nurses around, all running back and forth, taking care of people. And, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Well, let's see if we can get someone to take us to the injured girl's room.
Alright. Who's gonna do the talking?
Suppose it would have to be me with entrancement again if no one else wants to just straight up ask.
No, you, obviously.
Alright.
Alright, do I know, aside from what the girl looks like, do I know her name or anything?
You do not. Although you do know the circumstances of what she was brought in, like when and stuff like that.
Okay. In that case, I'll try to get the attention of one of the nurses or just the guy who's taking reception.
Okay. Are you going to entrance them?
I believe I shall.
Alright. Then that is appearance plus empathy.
7.
Alright. So you explain how hot you are.
Excuse me, sir, have you noticed how beautiful my eyes are?
So you have the misfortune of finding a very, rude young woman who's like, why are you talking about your eyes? We're busy. What do you want?
I'm looking for a young girl who was brought in earlier. Explain the circumstances, what she looks like.
Alright.
Do you know where she happens to be?
She's like, you family?
A friend.
Well, can't be giving out information to anyone. And she did, like, kind of pull out a folder, so you can kind of see that she does seem to have the information, but she's like, I can't just hand it out to you, and then she puts it away. And,
I see that, like, a carefree aura.
She immediately, like, is like, we're very busy, and she just bustles past you. You did see where she put the file. What are you trying to perceive?
Like if the information on the file, if it was available.
Yeah, it was. She did seem to be looking at it, from what you can tell, and you did see where she put it away, but
the file was closed.
Yeah, you didn't see into the file itself. You know where it's stored, though, although there are a lot of people around, so you just looking through files would be pretty suspicious.
If only someone could turn invisible, and also had Ryan on the back, I'll tell him where the file is.
Sure.
Good luck.
So you're gonna obfuscate it up?
Yeah, dude.
Alright. So yeah, you're able to get into the file pretty easily. Open it up, take it out, and you find the rune number.
Alright.
Wonderful job.
Alright. So as you guys head over there, you arrive to find basically it's a hospital room, and there is a girl on the bed, unconscious, what looks to be like IVs and stuff going into her. And there are a bunch of people around who are presumably her family, who seem to be, very concerned. Some of them are crying. There is a, what seems to be a mother, father, and then possibly some sort of younger sibling.
Let's see, how do you want to go about this then? I could probably get the attention of one of them and pretend to be a private eye or whatever, and then try to get information that way. Just ask them what they know. But they probably wouldn't know too much.
Well, if she regained consciousness at any point, she may have said.
In that case, it would probably be for the best if you stayed in there obfuscated and just wait around.
Before we move on, Zach, was I still in the guise of someone else when we were drinking our blood and stuff?
I assume so. Yeah, probably.
All right, good. I should probably take on another appearance while I'm in here as well. By the way.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
In that case, what I could do is, well, yeah. So I'll just hang out here obfuscated if nothing happens, and then wait for her to wake up, and then go from there.
Okay.
What I could do is, we could wait for one of them to leave for the bathroom, whatever. And then you guys hunt them and make sure they don't come back in. Then I obfuscate as well. That would be fun.
It would be fun, but I don't think it would be very attractive or very effective once they start asking you questions.
Nah, I'm fine. Just don't talk.
I'm fine, wife.
How has your day been, daughter?
I can pull it off. I can pull it off. Trust me.
Alright.
What is your performance?
It's not performance, it's subterfuge.
Would it be subterfuge? If you're pretending to be someone else?
We're 0 anyway, so who cares?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'd suggest you just stay in the room obfuscated. I'd suggest you just stay in the room.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, so if you're just kind of in there hiding, being invisible, you hear them just kind of comforting each other. They mention, you do overhear that she hasn't woken up kind of so far, but they're comforting each other, saying she'll probably wake up, soon. The doctors say she'll be fine.
Okay.
You do overhear one kind of strange thing where the younger brother, presumably the brother, asks, what was up with that strange girl that came to the house and told them. But the parents just kind of shrug their shoulders and say they have no idea.
Oh, the file we had on this girl, did they mention her name and her address?
It did have her address, yes.
Let's go check that out then.
Let's do that.
Oh, you should probably stay here for now, just in case. Well, right, someone should.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
In case she wakes up, and the rest should go to investigate the house.
Well, actually, Ryan, why don't you give me a self-control roll?
4.
You would feel more comfortable if you were out there looking for Lucy directly. I mean, she could be in danger, in which case they would definitely need someone strong and able to protect her. I mean, we know Jonathan's not going to be able to protect her.
Now, Ryan, listen here. You're the only one of us who can do this job here. The only one.
Terry kind of helpfully steps forward and says, I mean, I could stay here and keep an eye on things.
You couldn't turn invisible and wait in the room.
I mean, Why are we waiting in the room?
In case she wakes up.
Okay.
So we can ask her questions. Or not ask them, so we can hear when she's waking up and see what she remembers.
Alright.
I can plant myself out in the hallway and use Auspex to listen into the room.
Okay, that works too.
Alright, everyone wins.
Alright.
Alright then.
So so Terry's like, hey, good luck, boss.
Thank you.
Gives you a thumbs up.
Great.
I'll
Back in
give
our
him a
cars
fist
and
bump back in return. 'Cause, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So in that case, you guys head back out to the cars and start heading towards the girl's house.
right.
Her name is Emily, by the way. You found that out from the file.
Emily. Okay.
So you are heading near the house. It's in sort of a not-so-great neighborhood, but it's Gary, so all the neighborhoods are not so great.
Right. Is it comparatively worse than other neighborhoods, or is it just average for the time?
It's one of the 90% that's basically ghetto.
Okay.
And as you are kind of driving there, you're slowing down, you find the neighborhood, you're looking for the exact address, when all of a sudden you hear gunshots ring out.
Okay, dive down.
So, Terry brings the car to a halt, and there are basically bullets flying all over the place. And then, after a little while, you guys, everyone give me perception plus alertness rolls.
6.
4, I think.
Okay.
I'm at 4.
See if it's far away.
Okay.
4 with aspects.
Alright. So everyone except for Jonathan is able to notice, it looks like some guys they're wearing gang colors are running off away from where the gunshots came from, presumably fleeing the scene. And then up in that direction you can hear, like, screaming, crying sounds.
Should we investigate or should we leave that alone?
We could investigate.
Alright then,
If
why
we
don't you
have
scout it out at first?
Yes, I shall investigate. I'll turn invisible and run as fast as I can over there.
Okay. So yeah, as you approach, you can see that it looks like there was some kind of shootout between gangs. You don't see any bodies of gang members, although you do see a mother standing over the body of a child that's laying there in a pool of blood, and she is the one wailing.
Ah, crud.
Is the, how dead is the kid?
Give me a perception plus medicine.
How dead
That
the kid?
is 5. Specialty. Because I'm looking from afar.
Yeah? So you check out the kid as well as you can from kind of standing in the shadows. And you think he is still alive right now, but you don't think he's gonna make it, not with the ambulance response time in Gary. The only thing that could maybe keep him alive is if you had some sort of... You could feed him some vitae in order to help him close his wounds, but without something supernatural like that to interfere, you think he's probably going to die.
Well, the choice is yours. You're the only one there.
What's it like being a girl?
I mean, it's, if
They're
you...
growing way slower and stuff and shit, right? Like, it would become obvious.
Well, not really. I mean, it lasts as long as there's vitae in your system, so he would stop aging for 1 lunar month. But, like, would you notice if a kid stopped aging for 4 weeks?
Oh, wow. Huh. That's how it works.
And after that, he's completely normal?
After that, he's completely normal.
I realize he's not temporary. Alright, well,
Go for it.
in that case, let's see. Is there any way, would I be able to drop some blood into their mouth or onto their wounds or whatever without breaking obfuscate?
You would probably have to break obfuscate because the mother is, like, over the body. You would have to ask her to move.
Is there anyone besides the mother?
Not that you can see. It looks like most people cleared out when the shooting started.
ask Jonathan to occupy the mother while I save the kid.
Yeah, you could do that.
Alright, Jonathan, here's the plan, and I tell him.
Alright. I don't suppose a calling her would really help here. I would honestly feel really bad entrancing her right now.
I'm sorry your son is dead, but perhaps you might notice how hot I am.
Mayhap I can distract you for a moment.
You could just try, you know, talking to her and distracting her.
Red gaze!
No! Excuse me, miss, what are you saying completely still?
Up with occupier, red gazer.
Well, they will keep her occupied where she is right now, which is over the body. At that point, you may as well just knock her out.
Another
Just
thing...
stand the other direction. I'll be right behind her. She won't see.
Another thing I will suggest is you could also try and convince her... I mean, you could try and secretly slip some blood into the kid's mouth under the pretext of investigating, you know, like checking the body, doing regular first aid if you were to adopt some sort of disguise.
That's what I would suggest. You can just look like a medical student, can't you?
No, just turn her around and dread gaze her while I do it.
I'm not going to dread gaze her. I absolutely refuse.
I will say, it does say in the description, well, all kindred can frighten others by physically revealing their true vampiric nature. It's probably not the greatest, way to deal with this.
Alright.
Right, would you like for me to help you with pretending to be medical students, then? Okay, so I'll go over and, I'll say that maybe I'm like a professor or whatever. I'll try to keep her distracted while he checks the body and dumps some blood into his mouth.
Okay.
Also calling out just to make her feel better.
Alright, give me a charisma plus subterfuge.
7.
Okay. So you explain...
It's gonna be all right. We're gonna take care of this. Gonna call an ambulance. Something will be right as day.
Okay. So, David, you do the actual vitae slipping? Okay. So yeah, you distract her for a little bit, and, Ryan quickly drops a few drops into, his mouth. So take off a blood point. And actually, what is your current, blood rating of blood pool at this point?
5.
Alright.
Don't drink from him.
Yeah, that's, your self-control is 4, right?
Oh, God.
You're standing over a big old pool of blood.
Calming aura. The aura is as calming as it can be.
No, this time, actually, as you are leaning over Ryan to feed him a blood point, you are almost overcome by the vitae all around you. I mean, you're literally stepping in it as you're leaning over to do this. But you actually do manage to tear yourself away this time.
Beautiful. Well done. I'm proud of you.
4 is a high score, so I shouldn't be failing on time.
Yeah.
It's the second highest, but it's still only a 4.
Is that how that works?
I mean, yeah.
I would have thought that the difficulty for virtue rolls would be lower.
Well, also, you have a
Since
derangement. A
I'm
lot of these
alive.
situations you've been in have been novel situations, so your difficulty has been increased because of that as well.
Isn't the fact that I have to roll in the first place enough for the derangement?
No, these rolls have all been, I would have called for them regardless, but because you have a derangement, they've been increased in difficulty.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if anyone at 5 blood points had been in this pool, like if Jonathan had been there, he would have had to roll as well.
Yeah, but I'm for the other ones.
Well, if anyone else had been entranced, you're the only one who was entranced, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. So, Yeah, you feed the kid a blood point, and you notice actually the wounds do kind of start to close a little bit.
Alright.
And the kid actually does wake up, and as soon as he kind of does, the mother immediately basically forgets all about you two and rushes back over.
Fine.
And after a few
Has
minutes...
an ambulance been called?
After a few minutes, yes. After a few minutes, you do hear the sounds of the sirens in the distance.
Right, we'll head off then.
Alright, we gained karma. Let's go.
So, what is your current humanity rating, Ryan?
5.
Alright. You do gain 1 point of humanity.
Woo.
Congrats.
Lose it again.
We're slowly turning you into a better person.
You feel a little bit...
It's gonna revert.
Feel a little bit better about yourself.
For a while.
Alright. So, you guys arrive at the location, and it's one of the nicer houses in the neighborhood, but like I said, the neighborhood is not very nice. There was a shootout just down the block.
It still has all 4 walls.
So, as you arrive and knock on the door, Lucy does answer it. And you can see streaks of red down her face where she's been crying.
It's good to see you're safe. I'm worried about you.
She kind of looks at you and then kind of starts sobbing again. She doesn't seem to be able to really speak.
Take your time, and I'll head inside to help calm her down.
Alright.
Would a calming aura help another Toreador?
I mean, you could try it.
There's no reason not to.
Alright. And now we get to another one of my favorite things to do. Ryan, what's your self-control?
4.
Alright. So you don't go into frenzy. Good news first. You do, however, feel pretty uncomfortable seeing, Jonathan being all, like, affectionate with, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm not being affectionate, I'm being worried.
It's... I don't know, it looks that way to him, at least. It's possible, though, the Malkavian may not be completely objective.
Don't say.
So yeah, you do hold yourself back from frenzy, but, obviously, you're the only one who realizes, yeah, he like I said, he didn't go into frenzy. But you do realize that you are the only one who, she needs a real man right now, basically.
Alright.
And, Derek, you're just standing there watching these two guys, giving each other dirty looks over this woman.
I'm not looking at him at all.
Well,
I mean, that's what jealousy would do to you.
It's why Stalwart doesn't let himself get emotionally attached.
Exactly.
So I'll settle down on a couch, and I'll just try to calm it down, calming aura.
Alright.
And I'll try to get her to tell me what happened.
We could do with what Derek got. Some guy killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, man, it happens. You gotta keep living.
So yeah, she basically, she kind of slowly goes through her story. She says that after I couldn't just leave, I had to watch to make sure that the ambulance got there okay. And then, I followed her to the hospital, and she looked, so hurt, and I realized that, I was responsible, and then she just starts sobbing again.
Right. So what would make her do that, go so far? Because that's not something she would normally do.
No.
Should I maybe bring Alicia over here? Would she be able to help her?
Yeah, you could do that.
Does anyone object to that?
Nah, man, do you?
Alright then, I have permission.
Derek's in the process of going through Tinder, looking for his next girlfriend. He's like, nah, man, you do you.
Okay, I was about to say I'm gonna put up Tinder as well, but now I'm gonna look at Alicia's number and call her.
Alright.
Let her know she's been found, and tell her where she can come. She might need her help right now. She could use a friend, I'll say.
Alright. Yeah, so, Lucy seems to be, basically in the market to be embracing, you know, someone, to basically cry on the shoulder of who wants to volunteer.
Ryan, go ahead.
I would volunteer myself.
Alright. Yeah, so while Jonathan goes to make the call, she basically just throws her arms over you, starts crying into your shoulder.
I'm kind of weird so I'm kind of surprised that Derek didn't immediately go, yeah, sure. She could be his next one. I should say, she is quite hot.
Really?
I guess, you know, I'll be like, I'll tell her that we saw her and she's fine and shit.
Yeah. Well, she's like, you know, she's like, that's, you know, that's good. Are you sure she's gonna be fine?
Yeah, should be grand.
Has anything like this ever happened to you?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it?
I don't care if it has, but you tell her it has.
Well, you've left people injured, and need of hospitalization before.
It happens to the best of us.
Alright.
What matters is that you feel bad about it. That's all that matters in Catholicism, anyway. Not that I would know.
In
Not
yeah.
that I would know as a Protestant Unionist, but whatever.
She says, do you take comfort in religion? She asks.
I dabble.
Would you, she says, you know, would you be willing to take me to church?
Yeah, sure. I'll take you to church. Ha!
Well, right now we should wait for Alicia, shouldn't we, first?
Ah, now I'm turning your sire into a freak.
She's like, well, you can tell her where we went, and she will, leave with Ryan. If you want to check your phone, you can find the nearest Anglican church if you want.
Sure. No, wait, is there a Sikh temple?
Not in Gary.
Yeah, alright, fine. Anglican will do.
I figured Anglican. I know you wouldn't go to a cathedral, obviously.
Well, he might be Presbyterian as well.
I figured just, you know, C of E is probably the most British of all the religions, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so she will, she goes with you to the church and just kind of stays there a while with you. And Alicia comes and also kind of, eventually, she takes part of the duty of comforting her. And she says, oh, but before that, she does go up to you, Jonathan, and be like, you know, I think I can handle it from here if you want to go home.
Alright. Thank you.
Alright. And she will also, rather than make... I mean, Terry has to stay to drive Ryan home. But, rather than make Derek wait, she suggests that you could also, you know, have Miles drop you off.
Cool.
And Terry will go and pick up Steven and drop him off while you guys are at church praying.
Sure.
Alright. Yeah, so you guys stay there for a while. And that is the end of the session.
Alright then, good work.
Yes, it was good work.
Indeed.
Alright, so, in terms of experience, Everyone, tell me what it is that you learned.
I learned the frightening power of entrancement. Oh, and also how temporary ghoulizing is. How do you permanently ghoulize someone?
You keep feeding them
Keep
blood
giving
every
blood.
month?
You have to keep feeding them blood.
Yep. Alright. And, Miles?
I learned that my Sire can apparently lose control of herself, which isn't something I had ever heard of her doing.
Okay. And, Stallworth?
I learned that my girlfriend is dead.
Okay. And Steven?
I learned that Ryan can be a human being and fall in love.
Yeah?
Yeah, thanks to supernatural powers.
Yeah, well, you know, that they could work on you.
Alright. Since we basically kind of split the role-playing point award last time, we'll say no one won it in terms of who you can vote for. So you can vote for anyone here. So we'll start with Steven. Who do you want to vote for?
Oh, it's a toss-up between Ryan and Jonathan. So you can let other people vote. I'll make if there's a tie, I'll break it.
All right, Ryan. Who are you voting for? David.
What?
Who are you voting for? Role-playing award.
Well, Star.
All right, Stallworth. Who are you voting for?
I got to give it to David.
All right, Miles. Who are you voting for?
I'd say David as well.
Okay. So, Mary.
Well, I'll go with David too.
Okay. So, David, you get 4 experience points. Everyone else gets 3. And that is pretty much the end of the session. So, there is one other thing. Stallworth, do you want to plug your video?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If y'all want to go watch my YouTube video, just go to YouTube, type in Big Stall Productions. I'd appreciate any feedback.
I will also post the link in the description.
I appreciate that.
All right. So that is the end of this session. So I will see you guys in the next part.
See ya.
See ya.